and welcome to Milanya's kitchen. My name is Milanya Isa, and today I want to show you how to make pizza. We're gonna make the dough from scratch, and we're also gonna be making the tomato sauce from scratch. And this will go very quickly, it will take no time, and it can also be faster than one that you can have delivered. So let's get started. First, I'm gonna start with my tomato sauce by putting my pan here. And I got some tomatoes. They're very small. I'm gonna just put them straight in there, but I'm just gonna cut few of them to help it going, to get the juice out quicker and help it cook faster. So I'm literally just cutting few, and my tomato juicy, like if you squeeze, it has water, lots of water coming out of it. So I don't need to add any liquid to it. But if yours, depending on the type of tomato you're using, if you are using dry tomato, you just add 1 or 2 tablespoons of water to just help it a little. All right, so that's good for me. I'm gonna put it here. I'm going to add like a teaspoon of butter, for I love the flavor of butter and tomato. I'm gonna put a pinch of salt to taste. You can add olive oil if you want to. And I'm gonna put a hint of white pepper or black pepper. So I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna start with this, and I'm gonna get it going while we get started for the dough. So just make sure you cover it. So while I'm having my tomato sauce cooking on a low heat, we'll go here. Come with me to do the dough. Let's get this out of the way. You need a bowl to make your dough. And all what you need here for the flour, I'm using flour and milk, and that's it for the dough, and just a pinch of salt. And the ratio here, 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk. That's it. So I need let's measure this. So that's how I measure my flour. Just like that, and just take the knife. Get rid of it. Let me see, but I'll add some more and just do this again to make sure I have full cup. So that's good to go. So just take 1 cup of flour, a pinch of salt to flavor the dough a bit, and just 1 cup of milk. Put this away. It's room temperature milk. So I'm gonna mix, and you wanna mix this for a few minutes. 1 more gluten. At this point, you can, if you wanna flavor your dough, I like to add some rosemary. My rosemary. So I just put like about teaspoon of rosemary. You can add some flaxseed to add more nutrition. It's up to you, and you can leave it out. So the point here, I want it, the longer you mix, like 2 to 3 minutes, the better, the texture of the batter will be better. So I'm just gonna keep mixing this for a couple of minutes, and then I'm literally gonna take it straight to my pan. And while it's cooking, I'm just gonna prepare whatever topping you have in hand. I didn't go do special shopping for this. I just brought whatever I have in my fridge, and I always do that. My kids always want pizza no matter what food I'm making. So I just came up with this recipe, and it's just perfect, and they will be satisfied and you'll be happy. So now, do you see, guys, no lumps? You want to make sure no lumps, oops, whatsoever. You want very, very smooth dough. So I'm good with this. I'm gonna take this aside, and for this here, I have no heat involved yet. I just took a piece of butter, and with your hand, my hand's clean, you just go around, or you can use a brush. So I'm gonna go with my hand, and here you can omit this part, but I think that helped the crust crisp up better and give a nice taste to the dough. So what I'm going to do is doing a thin crust. For this type of dough, you want make thin crust. You don't want it too thick. And for this 1 cup, it gives me two large pizza, very thin crust. So now I'm gonna introduce my heat. So I'm gonna turn on my heat. And what you want here, low heat. You're always gonna do it on low setting. So I'm going to lower my heat. Okay, and you won't touch it until it's ready to flip. How you know if it's ready to flip? What you're gonna do, you're gonna see it, you see here it's all wet. In few minutes, you're gonna see it dry. So gently, you're gonna flip it on the other side. And we're gonna be doing this few times until you get slightly colored on your skin, or slightly colored on the pizza dough. That's because that's mean flavor, you want slightly colored. And then we just add the topping and cover it for a few more minutes and you're good to go. All right? So now we're having our tomato sauce cooking and our pizza dough cooking. And while that's happening, I'm just gonna work on my topping. Whatever you have in hand. It's happening for me to have just bell pepper, so I'm gonna use that. And whatever you're using, just cut it small because this pizza will take no time. So you don't want just raw veggies on your pizza. You can if you want to. I mean, bell pepper tastes good. So however you like it. So basically what I'm gonna do for this, I'm just gonna cut it small cubes. Okay, let me clear up this. Okay, so I'm just gonna take them all like that and just cut them small bites. And if you are if you're doubling the size, if you want more pizza and you're doubling the size, what you need to do is to make sure, so see let's get here for a second. You see it's getting drier and drier. So I'm gonna wait a few more minutes here so it doesn't break apart. So, but you see it's getting drier and drier in service. And if you shake it, you see it just dances with you. And it's so airy and light and thin. That's what you want, to get a nice crispy thin crust. All right, so I'm just gonna put my bell pepper here. That's all what I need for a couple pizza. All right, I'm using I'm just having some cheddar and some mozzarella. I just had some olive. I'm just gonna cut it, it's mine small, so I'm just gonna cut it into 2 halves, just like that. And you can also just make just cheese pizza, and that will be even faster. But I like to add more stuff. All right, so do you see my pizza dough is right, like so airy here? So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take your spatula and with your hand and flip. All right, so we're gonna keep this for a few minutes and we'll flip it again. So I'm gonna keep flipping it back and forth while I'm waiting. So we'll keep waiting for our dough while we're cutting our topping. And then you just quickly check on my tomato. So here my tomato is roasting beautifully. It smells so good. Just the butter and tomato, perfect combination. So I'm just gonna cover it. And now that it's released all the liquid, I mean not all the liquid, but it's released a big portion of its liquid. So that's gonna help it cook, and the skin, because we're gonna keep the skin on too, and it will be a very nice tomato sauce. All right, so I'm gonna keep doing this with my olive. Just cut them into halves, and my olive is ready. Just put it back in the plate here. All right, so I have this ready. Actually, I had 2 cloves of garlic to add to my tomato, but never mind. I'm just gonna make it with no garlic. And I'm just gonna take like maybe a quarter a quarter cup if you like onion in your pizza, and I make it very thin slice, just like that. Of course, that's your taste. You make your own, and you want to cut it thin because the pizza dough will be cooked. So you literally want to take a couple of minutes for just the cheese melt and you cook the veggies. And put my onion right there. All right, and our topping is ready. Let's check on our pizza to see how bubbly and just cooking beautifully. So let's just give it another flip. It's been like about a minute. And voila! Look at you, look at that, guys. That's flavor right here. That's like give you a nice crust. And I'm gonna lower, you're working on low heat now. So you try to just press gently, because we're using here very thin crust. You just press it gently to get the air cooking the dough. And I'm so happy already right here. And my tomato is cooking nicely. You see all the skin get cracked, and that means it's nicely, oh, it's so hot. It's just cooking nicely right here. So I'm gonna wait one more minute, and I flip it on the other side with the topping and finish all this and just eat. All right, guys, we're almost ready to flip it again. We just, no specific time, just wait like about a minute or so. And you see this color, it's the butter help it get this nice color. So so it's really a good addition here. So I'm gonna flip it one more time. It's very, you can if you don't like it crunchy, you can start adding your topping at this point. But my family like it crunchy, so I'm just gonna wait a little bit. So you see, it's very nice and soft, but we like it a little bit crunchy. But you choose when to start adding your topping. But now my crust is about ready to add my topping, and I like to press gently like that from the edges, so to make sure the air is cooked. And you can also, if you can, you just do it in circles. It's too hot if you can handle the heat, or you don't have to. Just play around with it for a bit, for a little bit. And let's see our tomato sauce, and grab a fork and gently, because I don't want to mess up my pan here, and just help it out a bit by smashing it. You see, once it's soft, you're just ready to work with it. And this is gonna add so much flavor to your pizza. And I'm telling you guys, once you try this pizza, you're gonna be making it almost every day. I'm almost making it every day. You just need some stable ingredients. You need some tomato. If you don't have the tomato, you can just use the store-bought one, and just have flour in your house. All what you need is flour and milk. So now I'm starting to put my pizza together. Here my tomato is nice and soft. You want some liquid here. You see that? You want that. You don't want it too dry. So once you see it like that, and you just press it with your spoon and it gets mushed like that, that means you're ready to go. So I'm just gonna start working with it. So I'm just gonna take it, turn it off the heat, and take it, and I still have my pizza crust here in low heat, always in low heat, and I just take the amount that you like. Smells so good. I can eat just this tomato by itself. Okay, just add some more here for me. Okay, that's good. And I'll just take some of the juice. All right, so I'm good with the tomato here. I'm going to add in my onion. I like to put my cheese last. So when I cover the cheese with all the ingredients, it's kind of almost steam it. So, all right, I'm going to add my olive. All right, just like that. And now I'm going to take the grater and just grate my cheese. And I would recommend you guys grate your own cheese, because the grated ones at store, they add stuff to it that you don't want. So just easy, just grab your cheese and grate it, and you put as much or as little as you like. Make it your own. It's a perfect way to bring everyone in a family to build their own pizza. All right, and I have some mozzarella here. I'm just gonna take it like that. Here it is. This one is ready to be covered and left alone for a couple of minutes. I know you can't wait, but you're almost there. So I'm gonna take, you take a lid or something, but because mine is too big, I'm just gonna take my wok and close it, because it's a perfect size for my pan. And it's still on low, and I'll give it 2 minutes until the cheese melts and the vegetables get soft, and then we're ready to eat. I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, so it's been a few minutes. Let's check on our final result. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that, guys. Just the crust, it's cooked to perfection. So let's turn off our heat and transfer this into your cutting board. I find it easier to do it in your cutting board rather than the plate. So I just literally just take hold of the crust like that, and oopa, ready. All right, look at these, guys. Look at the crust. So fluffy, airy, crunchy. Look at that. Look at that. Yes, I feel like the adding some butter in there is a must. Make it all crunchy and bubbly and this nice color, just extra layers of flavor on top of each other. So here lately I just felt like adding some ketchup into your pizza. Might sound weird to you, but hear me out. I like just slightly, it's more than slightly, but like that. Just add this back in there. Adding ketchup, so it's make it delicious. The little bit of sweetness from the ketchup help the acidity from the tomato. So give it like a extra something. You can give it a try and tell me if you like it. If you don't, just forget about it and keep it out. But at this point, you can use Tabasco or crushed pepper. The world is your oyster. So here we come to the best part, eating our pizza. So I'm gonna cut my pizza. I don't have the right knife for it, but I'm just gonna go with what I have for now. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at that crust. This back, come back right here. I'm just gonna take a smaller slice because it's super hot. I still have to taste it for you guys. And let's add a little Tabasco. And let's give it a try. Grab a napkin real quick. Alright, so take a piece of my pizza. No, let's go with this one. I'm gonna take a piece of pizza. Look at that, guys. Oh, so cheesy. Oh my goodness. You'll make this one, you're never gonna order pizza from outside anymore. It's just the homemade tomato sauce that we made also, which is very simple, just tomato and some butter. If you want to add extra stuff, you can, but just by doing this, it takes my pizza to like a very fancy style pizza. It's super delicious. The crust is super crunchy. The cheese just so melty and stretchy. What more do you want? So I hope you give this a try, and let me know what you think under the video in a comment below. If you like my video, please give me thumbs up, share and subscribe. Until next video, stay healthy and cook at home. Bye.